Alright, so today we will be surviving 100 days in 1.17 hardcore Minecraft. Now this was supposed to be the Caves and Cliffs update, but ironically, neither the caves nor the cliffs were updated. But there are still plenty of new things for us to enjoy. In this video, I want to find myself a cute little axolotl pet, get all new 1.17 achievements, build a super sick house in a mountain, and finally kill the enderdragon. I am really looking forward to this video and checking out what 1.17 has to offer, and I hope you guys are too. So if you guys like this video, please be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications, as it really helps out the video and promotes it more. So with that, let's just jump into it. So I loaded into our world here, and obviously I need to get all of my supplies, like my wood and my tools and my food and all of that. You guys have seen this all like 100 times, so we can just gloss over this really quickly. So once we got all of that, we were finally prepared to move on to a few other things. The first thing I wanted to do was actually expand this pen that was naturally placed inside the village, because I obviously need to breed cows for both food and also later in the game getting the leather, so that way I can make books for full level 30 enchanted armor. Adding carpets on the fences just adds a really easy way for me to get in and out without letting the cows escape, and I don't really need this pig, so goodbye to you. As night was approaching on our first day, I decided the last thing I would do was take care of this iron golem, and he was kind of struggling to try and figure out how to attack me. Eventually he just sort of settled down, and yeah, we can sort of finish that. And unfortunately, he only dropped like 3 iron. I was hoping for more, but that's still enough for an iron pickaxe, so that's good enough. And with that, we went to sleep to bring us to day 2, where I immediately went mining. Grabbing this iron, it looked different, and I was confused, and apparently they changed iron ore to raw iron now. I wasn't aware they did that, but yeah, that's a thing now. I also came across some of this copper ore, so I decided to mine that, and apparently it is useful for achievements later, so it's good to have. Once I was done with that, I just really quick went ahead and smelted all of my iron, got full iron armor and iron tools, so that way I don't, you know, accidentally die, because that would be bad. I still wanted to find a bunch of diamonds, so as I continued to search the cave more, I came across this ravine, and there you go, some diamonds. I primarily just wanted a pickaxe and then enough diamonds for an enchantment table. Unfortunately, this only gave me 4 diamonds, which is 1 short of what I needed, so I had to continue mining. In this ravine, I also came across 2 little axolotls just swimming in the water down here, so that was really convenient. I was contemplating which one to actually grab. I eventually decided to go with the pink one, grab them in my bucket, but then I realized I got another bucket earlier from a chest in a mine shaft, so I just filled the other bucket with water, struggling a little bit to get the second axolotl, but eventually we did get them. And there you go. I now already have 2 little axolotl friends. How adorable. Continuing along the cave systems, I eventually did find some more diamonds, so we were good to go. However, one thing I did want to find before I left was the new Amethyst Cluster that can be hidden underground. And after mining for about an extra day or so, we finally did find our Amethyst Cluster. Also, one of the things I needed in here is the shards you see hanging. Breaking one of those is needed for a lightning rod, and I need a lightning rod for an advancement. So yeah, finding this Amethyst Cluster was important for my goals in this video. After that, it was nighttime, so I really quickly went to sleep, and I spotted a horse through the window of my house here, and I did manage to get a saddle and gold horse armor from a mob spawner chest, so I really quick went out to that horse and tamed them. And this horse took quite a lot of attempts. It was really stubborn, so I needed a name for this horse that is equally stubborn. So I decided to name this horse Gordon Ramsay. I don't know. I thought it was fitting. I liked it. So yeah, we've now got Gordon Ramsay. I just generally worked around my base a little bit more with breeding cows and stuff like that. I also built the enchantment table and now was starting to work on enchanting some of my items. Next, I wanted to actually sort of explore my world a little bit more. So I grabbed Gordon and we were off towards the mountains because I wanted to find a goat. And really quickly, there you go. We got some goats. The new mob in 1.17. They're pretty pointless. Yeah, I mean, I killed one. It didn't drop anything. You really can't do anything with them. They're a pretty pointless mob. But hey, I found him! And Yeah, but that was good enough. I went on Gordon and we went on exploring a little bit more until I came across a jungle and I got the idea that I actually wanted to tame a bird. So really quickly, I just put Gordon in a hole to keep him safe and I grabbed some seeds and then started looking for a bird. Pretty quickly, I found one and really easily tamed it. But the problem is getting the bird out of the jungle. I didn't have a lead, so the bird had to be on my shoulder because it doesn't follow you. But if you get in water or only fall a singular block, it falls off your shoulder. It was so tedious. After doing a little bit of research, I realized if I ride on a horse while the bird is on my shoulder, then the bird just doesn't get off and it's so much easier. It took me like 5 minutes to figure that out, but eventually figure out we did, and we were on our way home. As we were approaching our house, it was nighttime, so I really quickly went to sleep, and then I woke up and lost my bird, and I was freaking out, and then I realized, oh yeah, it's on my shoulder. So I just sort of sat them down, shoved them in a corner, and I hate to break it to you, but I forgot this bird for the rest of this video. Literally, it's still sitting in the corner of that house. Even after I made a new house, that bird is still sitting there. So I decided to name the bird after myself, Zelk, because I thought that was apt. Next, I wanted to explore the Nether, so I made a speedrunner's portal to help me out, and for once, I thought I actually succeeded at making it. But no, I failed once again to make this thing properly, but eventually get it made we did, and we explored the Nether. Now this was a super open Nether at the start here, so I thought for sure we were gonna find a fortress or something really close by. But no, it took me nearly an hour to find a fortress and then build a path to that fortress. It was very annoying. This fortress was probably 300 or 400 blocks away. One of the most annoying fortresses I have ever had to find in Minecraft. But eventually we did find it, and unfortunately it was in a soul valley, which meant more mobs were gonna spawn here than normal. And as you can see, I was standing around for like 4 seconds and half of my HP is gone. Clearly we cannot actually go to that fortress yet before we get diamond armor, but I did start to explore the Nether a bit more, and I did find this bastion remnant, so I looted this. It didn't have that much loot pretty much at all, other than a couple chests and a few gold blocks. But as I was leaving, I actually spotted yet another bastion remnant off in the distance, and we decided to go loot that one. And this one actually had a bridge with gold on the end, so we got a lot more gold blocks from this one. So since I had all this extra gold, I decided to trade with some piglins just to try and get some, I don't know, ender pearls or something. Piglins don't really give you anything that useful, but I had the gold, so I figured I might as well do something with it. And after quite a few minutes of trading, this is everything we ended up with. So I just grabbed everything that I actually wanted to keep, and we made our way out of there. Next, I wanted to build an actual proper house, and I thought it was fitting to build a house inside of a mountain because this is the Caves and Cliffs update. So I build a cave style house in a cliff. I thought that was pretty good. So yeah, we're gonna build a hobbit hole right here. But first I need some supplies, and to get those supplies, I actually wanted some diamond tools. So really quickly, I just went mining again for a few more diamonds, so that way I could make all the diamond tools that I needed, and didn't take me too long before I finally found the diamonds that I needed. I did want some extra diamonds too, so that way I could combine multiple diamond tools together for better enchantments. So I continued searching. I eventually found this cave with some more diamonds, and literally after looting those diamonds, as you'll see, I just go forward like 20 blocks here, and boom, there's more diamonds right there. So that was really convenient. And with that, we got all of the diamonds we needed, and we went back to the surface. So really quick, just went ahead and combined multiple of them together to get me the enchantments that I needed. I had some diamonds left over, so I just really quickly made a diamond chestplate and pants and enchanted them with basic enchantments, just that way I felt at least a little bit safer. Next, I used this copper and amethyst that I had to make a brand new spyglass, which is, it's basically Optifine. So I searched around for a thing to use the spyglass on, and, enhance! Yes! Let's go! Alright, spyglass is awesome, love that. Yeah, as you can see right here, you actually use a spyglass for an advancement by looking at a bird. So yeah, I used that, and once that was done, I actually used my diamond tools to go grab the supplies that I needed to actually build my house. I needed a ton of spruce wood for this build, as well as a ton of warped crimson. So grabbing all of that, as I was heading back to the overworld, I nearly died, so that was fun. Luckily, I am an MLG legend, and we were finally actually ready to work on building our house. But first, I had to flatten out the side of this mountain here. So yeah, this area that I've dug out now has to be expanded 10 blocks in each side. so skip there. Ideally, I would add a time lapse of me doing all of this, but unfortunately, no mods have been updated to 1.17 yet, except for Optifine, so I can't really do time lapses. So yeah, here is just me building this in stages. As you can see, this is the first stage done. We'll have to expand it upward a little bit more, and there you go, expanded it upward. And now the outside is pretty much done, other than just regular old decoration to the grass and stuff. But now I actually have to mine out this mountain and then decorate the inside, which took me so very long, but eventually we got it done. This entire house took me so very long, and also, I know you guys are gonna love this house because it's not my design. This is actually a Hobbit hole design that I copied off the internet. Yeah, proper credit in the description to the person that actually designed this. There's no way I could make anything proper like this. But yeah, I thought it looked really cool. There's a bit of an attic here. I decided to put my bed up here and a bunch of crafting tables because I had no idea what else to fit up here. But yeah, it looked super sick, and a ton of chests for my storage area. It was awesome. I put the nether portal there and everything. It looked really cool. It's by far and away the fanciest and best thing I have ever made or had in Minecraft, literally ever, and I was absolutely in love with this build, and I was super happy that I did it, even though that it took me so long to build. I also wanted to put my axolotls finally on display, and where did those axolotls get off to? Ooh, wonder what they're doing in this chest. You're not supposed to be in there, little guys. But I grabbed them, and I went ahead and put them in there. Unfortunately, it's a little small area for them, but I hate to break it to you guys, but these are fake animals inside a fake game, so they don't have feelings. So yeah, you stay in the little pit on display because you look cute. Now, throughout all of this, I have actually been growing sugarcane because I need that sugarcane to make books, so that way I can have level 30 enchantments. But I need a lot more XP to be able to do that, so I grabbed all of the supplies I needed to build an XP farm. I didn't want to use an actual mob spawner because I felt like those were too slow, so I just built this mob grinder that you generally build for skyblock. Took a few days to build and a whole lot of supplies, but basically they spawn on this platform right here, and then due to trap doors getting in the way of their AI, they fall onto these lower levels with the water, fall straight down, so they're all one shot, and then you just kill them. Overall, super simple, but just a little bit tedious to build. As it was time to build up the walls, I decided that we were actually going to use the deep slate and amethyst to build the walls because I had no idea what else to use the amethyst for. So yeah, I wanted to decorate something, and I figured this would look kind of cool, so that's what I did. All this was left to do was break all the torches that were on the inside, and mobs would start spawning. Unfortunately, something that I didn't think about was that mobs actually spawned underground as I was sitting AFK at this thing, so I had to go 120 blocks in the air, so the only thing that was in the mob spawn radius was my mob spawner. But the problem was, it took like a solid minute to climb up this ladder. So I had to go up and down, up and down, up and down the ladder just to kill mobs, go back up so they'd spawn, go back down, and it worked and gave me a pretty good amount of XP. It was just really tedious and annoying, so I'm like, should I just move this thing 200 blocks in the air so I can AFK at the bottom of this thing without mob spawning in caves? I knew it was gonna take a while, but I wanted to do it, so yeah, skip ahead many days, and I moved this thing upwards. I even built myself a water column to actually go up this thing, which is much faster than a ladder. And the reason why this works better is because since I were 200 blocks in the air, the only thing that's in radius for mobs to spawn is in my mob spawner, because we are too far away from the ground for mobs to spawn. And after only 4 minutes of AFKing, the max amount of mobs were spawned in this chunk and no more mobs can spawn. So I killed all of them to get all of my XP. So yeah, this thing was way more efficient than just building a mob grinder next to an actual proper mob spawner. So now that I had that done and I had all the sugarcane necessary, the only thing left to do was to kill my cows to get all of the leather that I needed to make the books for the bookshelves. It was sad to see the cows go. You know, I've been growing them this entire series and breeding them, but they were bred for this purpose. Yeah, goodbye, cows. I accidentally crafted extra bookshelves than I actually needed. You only need 15, I made 20, but oh well. I decided to build my level 30 enchanter actually up next to my mob grinder because it would just be way more efficient than putting it in my house. But unfortunately, I can't actually use the thing yet because I don't have diamond armor to enchant because I ran out of diamonds. So for the final time in this video, we are going to go mining yet again. And there you go! After a few days of just boring old strip mining, this is how many diamonds we got, which is more than enough to get all of the proper level 30 enchantments that we need for all of our tools and armor. Incredibly tedious process. You don't want to see me just plain old enchanting, so just skip ahead a little bit. And this is everything that we enchanted. We do have to combine a lot of these things together to get the proper enchantments. Like as you can see there, I have 2 helmets that I have to combine. I've got 2 pairs of boots that I have to combine. But finally, once we did that as well, this is the enchantments that we got on all of our armor. Not quite the max on some of my tools, but it's good enough for now. The only enchantment that I didn't get that I still wanted to was actually feather falling on my boots, because that's quite important. So I did have to get all of my XP back up, and I had to enchant a pair of boots. I think it was around 11 times before I finally got the feather falling. So yeah, it took quite a while to get that because that's quite a rare enchantment, but get it eventually we did. Combine that with my pair of boots, and there you go. We finally had all of the enchantments that I actually wanted. Now that I had all of this, I finally felt safe enough to actually go explore the Nether Fortress. And one of the advancements in 1.17 is looking at a ghast through a spyglass, so I did that. I also just now got the advancement for exploring a fortress, even though I've been walking on it this entire time, so that was really interesting. I primarily just needed the blaze rods from this fortress to go to the end portal, so just killed those blazes really quickly, and then I knew where a warped forest was, so I used my looting 3 sword to kill a few endermen to get more than enough ender pearls. Now we still had plenty of time before our 100 days was up, so I wasn't really ready to kill the enderdragon yet, but I still wanted, so that way I could properly gauge when I needed to go kill the enderdragon to end our 100 days. So for now, we are just going to find it, but not actually enter the end yet. So we grabbed a Gordon, we made our way there, went ahead, used a lead that I got from a wandering villager to just sort of tie Gordon up so he couldn't run away, and then we dug down to the stronghold. I went into this library that I found and actually got a mending book from the library, so that was really nice. And after a little bit more exploring, we found our end portal. So I plugged everything in, made a nether portal, and now whenever I want to come back to the stronghold, I just have to travel from my nether portal at my house to the nether portal right here. So it was going to save me so much more time. It did take me about a day or so to properly plot out a path from one portal to the other. But yeah, here it is. And right here, this is the path that we use to get to the nether fortress. So we combine the 2 paths together. By now, I actually wanted to work on getting the final 1.17 advancements. And one of those is to ride in a boat with a goat. So I got that. That was super simple. Also apply a honeycomb to a copper block, wax on, and then use an axe to wax off the honey. So yeah, just kind of silly advancements. Another one was to use an axolotl to assist you in killing a mob. So I did that. And so the axolotl was actually useful. So that was really nice. Another thing was to make a sign glow. So I used this really cool sign here to make it glow. Zelkshop.com. I wonder if you can get absolutely outstanding merch at Zelkshop.com. You should probably check that out. Another thing was to use leather boots to walk on powdered snow. But as far as I'm aware, you cannot get powdered snow yet, because the proper biomes for powdered snow have not been added in 1.17. After doing some research, I read that snow gathers in a cauldron, but it wasn't gathering in this cauldron. So as far as I'm aware, this advancement is impossible. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Another advancement that I got earlier in the day was using a lightning rod to save a village from getting set on fire. So I used that. That one was pretty simple. And now I got all of the advancements that I could get. The only final one was to look at an ender dragon with the spyglass, which we obviously cannot do right now. So one thing that I wanted to do before we actually went and killed the ender dragon was to properly decorate the outside of my house. I went and got a ton of basalt for some decoration, as well as some mossy cobblestone. And again, unfortunately, I don't have replay mods, so I can't really show you me decorating it. So I'm just gonna be decorating this area right out front here, add a nice clean little transition, and it is officially all decorated, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I am in love with how this turned out. I built a nice little cart out front, as well as a nice little picnic table. We built an extension to our pond. It looks so amazing. I mean, the place where I keep Gordon Ramsay is a little bit dull and boring, but I don't care. The rest of everything else looks fantastic. Easily the most aesthetically pleasing thing I have ever built in Minecraft. So again, huge shout out to the designer of this build. Again, proper credit in the description to the person that came up up with this design. And now that I had a few days left to spare before I needed to end this 100 days, I decided to get as much netherite as I could. And literally as soon as I started mining for netherite, I found this ancient debris. So I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to get so lucky in this session of getting ancient debris. Oh boy, was I wrong. Eventually, I decided to apply that mending book to my pickaxe, that way I could repair this thing whenever I wanted, just grabbing some XP, and we went searching for more ancient debris. And literally like 20 or 30 minutes went by, and this is what I mined away. And we did not find a singular bit of ancient debris. It took me so long to mine all of this that blocks were starting to despawn on the ground, and not one single ancient debris from all of this mined. Another like 15 minutes later, all of this is brand new. All of this I mined out from last time, and I still didn't find any more ancient debris. Literally right up here was the end of what I just showed you previously. So like 40 minutes of mining and I didn't find a single bit of ancient debris. Easily the unluckiest I have ever been. Until finally, my luck started to improve, and within the next 20 minutes, we finally got more ancient debris. Unfortunately, we were now running out of time and I couldn't go mining for more. I needed to end the 100 days by killing the enderdragon. So yeah, this is all that I mined out for literally only 7 ancient debris. This entire thing is usually good enough for like a full set of netherite armor, but no, not this time around. It was only good enough to make 2 things into netherite, so I decided to make my sword and my chestplate into netherite. And like I said, yeah, I was hoping for more time. I kind of wanted to decorate the outside of my base a bit more. I wanted more netherite, but we're halfway done on day 96, so we are really running out of time and we need to go kill the enderdragon. So I used my nether portal really quickly, went to the stronghold and hopped on in. And this stupid base is easily the furthest away from the actual end island that I've ever been, so that was really nice. Killing the enderdragon, you guys have all seen this plenty of times. I mean, yeah, stupidly simple. You shoot all of the towers, you hit the enderdragon, then the enderdragon flies away, you hit it with a bow a bunch of times, it perches again, you hit it with your sword a bunch more times until finally you kill the enderdragon. Really stupidly simple. But yeah, there you go. That brings us to day 97, so I really don't have much time to search for an elytra, but I still do have time, so I went on searching. And this end city, fortunately, wasn't too far away. It was a little under 1,000 blocks, and so using ender pearls to travel really didn't take me that long, and we had plenty of time to spare. So I went all the way up to the top, pearled over to the ship, killed the stupid shulker in my way, and grabbed my elytra. And fortunately for me, I had the wherewithal to actually remember to bring rockets with me, so that way I could fly with the elytra, and I actually remembered the direction that I traveled in, so I know where my portal is to get out of here. I don't usually remember those things, but I did remember this. And I also made sure to grab the enderdragon egg before I left, and we went back to the overworld. And as you can see right here, the sun is actually starting to rise on our 99th day. So yeah, I was a little bit too fast. I just went ahead and placed down this egg for decoration. And yeah, we now have 1 full day ahead of us. I am usually a lot better at timing the end of these videos to actually be at the end of 100 days, but yeah, didn't time this one right. We still had an extra day to spare. I just went ahead and flew around to check out my house a little bit more because again, I absolutely love the way that it looked. And in this final day, I decided to enchant some books to try to get an unbreaking book to apply to my elytra. And I had to use literally all of the XP levels that I got from killing the enderdragon before finally getting my unbreaking book. So just applied that to my elytra. There you go. And we still had some time to spare, so I decided to just sit AFK here for a bit longer to get the XP needed to mend my pickaxe. With that, that brought us to the end of the day of day 99. So I just really quick grabbed my horse, Gordon Ramsay, cause as is tradition, always gotta bring the pet inside on the final day. So I grabbed my beds, placed him right down next to the axolotl. We had Gordon Ramsay, and it was at this point that I realized I never actually used a name tag to name Gordon. I've had a name tag for a while, I've just forgot to do it. So yeah, name tagged Gordon Ramsay, brought them over near the axolotls, and like I said, I completely forgot about the bird that I got in this video. So yeah, heck with the bird, we don't need them. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. This video was a really good time. I had a lot of fun with it. It was one of my favorite videos in this entire series to record, so I hope you guys enjoyed it too. And I can't wait to expand on it more. So if you guys want to see that, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, that way you don't miss out on any future videos. And with that, I will see you guys in the next one.